It contrasts very much with what Martin Luther King said in his address at the centennial anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. And I'll quote the first paragraph of what he said. Quote, "If our nation had done nothing more in its whole history than to create just two documents, its contribution to civilization would be imperishable. The first of these documents is the Declaration of Independence, and the other is that which we are here to honor tonight, the Emancipation Proclamation."
They are hearing almost every day about structural racism and the systemic barriers that are keeping their people down, and that white supremacy runs in the DNA of the country. Those kinds of messages are very disempowering.
I mean, the first thing I'd suggest in this process of having diversity of ideas is not to chunk ourselves up by race. The country certainly has not been at all perfect in living up to the ideals, but it's actually the embrace of the ideals that allow us to keep moving towards them. And for some, it's a genuine interest in dealing with not only racial disparities, but the lack of upward mobility for people of all races to access the American dream. That could be a white kid in Appalachia, a Hispanic kid in the barrio, a Black kid in the South Bronx. I mean, many of the same issues connect those three sets of people much more so than their race. This is an opportunity to stand strong on some founding principles and be proud. And I know there are a lot of forces against it right now trying to create distraction, but we've created something very special in our country that's endured for a long time. And we should be simultaneously horrified by aspects of our history while also celebrating the victories that have achieved and what we still have yet to achieve together.
America has a mixed history around the legacy of slavery, there's no doubt, but there's also a legacy of Black excellence and resilience in the face of slavery. That's how we help our young people build that sense of agency and that sense of grit. Many of our parents in low-income communities may have faced racial discrimination in their own lives, but they knew that a great school could make a huge difference. They knew that America has a terrible legacy of slavery, but they also know that America faces, even with that legacy of slavery, there is also a simultaneous legacy of excellence and resilience in the face of slavery. Can we create a compelling alternative that doesn't turn away from the stories of race and racial oppression, but actually tells that story and the incredible stories of those African Americans, past and present, who overcame that racism? There are founding ideals of our country: strong families, free enterprise, faith, hard work, entrepreneurship, seeking out your own enterprise. These are very real aspects of the American story, accessible to everyone.